Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick update here on BENI. I haven't talked about it in a while. Someone in the comments asked, so I said, fuck it, I'll do it. Um, just because I want to see if this channel can do something. That'd be pretty cool. Not financial advice. And yeah, drop a comment if you want me to check anything out. But here, let's look at BENI right now. 62,000 holders. Still don't know why. It was like, I forget, maybe around 3 or 4,000 before that spike happened. It might be an airdrop or something that happened, which is a good thing anyways. The fact that it's in that many wallets means 62,000 people could potentially notice it once it starts to go up, right? So that's, yeah, right there alone is a really good sign for when things really start to go. So things aren't going yet, so it's like good time to get in. Long term, really good time to get in. This thing could do, I want to say 500,000,000 easily, maybe even 1 billion. It's like one of the first meme coins on the chain. So think about that. And it's also Coinbase director's dog, and he knows about it too. So whoever's behind it is knows what's up. So let's see what we got going on here. The liquidity looks really good. That's very nice. That's a lot right there. $2 million market cap. That's a decent amount of liquidity for $2 million market cap. And it's moving slow, which is nice too, because then you can predict these patterns a little easier. And yeah, the community is really holding it down. 35K volume, not much, which is good. Okay, like to the average Joe, the retail investor, or even the inexperienced DeFi kid, this doesn't look very appealing, right? There's not, they like, people like action, you know, but like that's the whole idea here. You got to do what no one is doing. You got to do the opposite. And right now, no one's buying BENI. So if you want a long term fucking 200x or so, you could get in right now and achieve that in maybe 6 to 12 months. If you want to play the pumps like I do, I will break down what's about to happen here. So we got this falling wedge, okay? And when the falling wedge breaks out, it breaks to the upside. So it's on a downtrend, which looks bearish, but it's actually bullish. So the height of this wedge will break out at the end here. Sometimes it happens sooner, but it'll probably happen at the end because the volume's kind of low. But not financial advice, I could be wrong. Which would take it up to a $4 million market cap when it breaks out, if we have sufficient volume for the breakout. But I know the community is very strong, so there's a good chance they'll fucking rally behind it when it's time for a breakout. Because obviously people are trading this pattern too, like I am. And also I see a bullish divergence, which is one of my favorite things to spot. I look for those all the time because they pretty much play out all the time. I don't want to say all the time, not financial advice, but most of the time they play out. So you can see the RSI here. This point right here is higher than over here, which means the momentum, the selling momentum, is slowing down. And these candles here are lower than over here. So it's doing the opposite as the RSI, which means momentum is ready to go upwards. And considering the volume's pretty low, it's probably going to just go up to 2.5, $2.6 million market cap. Could go a little higher, maybe 2.8, or maybe a little lower, around that range, okay? And then it's going to come back down to here, probably, within the coming days. $1.9 million market cap, could even go down to 1.7. Could go even lower, but just don't put all your eggs in at once. Use a Unibot. I always suggest to use a Unibot, and you can set buys all the way down to $1.5 million market cap. And yeah, then eventually it'll break out. So you could even play this little pump here. You could get in right now and then sell your half your bag or something once it hits 2.5 mil, ride it back down to the bottom trend line here, buy back in with that profit, boom, back up, and then hopefully it breaks out. And then when it breaks out, you got even more gains because you rode this pump here. But yeah, this bullish divergence is showing me on the 4-hour and 8-hour, which means kind of short term. So within the coming days, it's going to do a pump up here, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, probably within the next 2 days, but I could be wrong. And then you can get that 25% gain or so. So if you put 10 grand in, that's $2,500, right? So yeah, that's BENI. It's things are slow, the whole market's slow. Just understand that, and everything will turn around eventually. We need these slow days, you know, in order to get the big days, the rallies. So yeah, do with that what you will.